So, there's so much more, though, here in Albuquerque beyond the Balloon Fiesta. In fact, this Saturday at the Kiva Auditorium, the New Mexico Philharmonic is presenting Charlie Chaplin at the Symphony. Now, this is a classical concert that actually goes horribly wrong. Here's the story. Earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down with the Philharmonic's executive director, Marian, who's a fabulous guy, and Charlie Chaplin expert and mime, Kamin. Now, he actually trained Robert Downey Jr. in his role, Oscar-nominated role, as Charlie Chaplin, as well as Johnny Depp, who had the Golden Globe nomination for Benny and June. So you will have a chance to see a little bit about what they think about this. Charlie Chaplin at the Symphony comes to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I am pleased to say that I am now sitting in the offices of our New Mexico Philharmonic with the executive director, of course, Marian. So good to see you again.
Good to see you, Nikki.
And I'm so happy to welcome you to New Mexico. I'm here also with Kamin, who is a very influential person in the world of Charlie Chaplin, and it is wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me to talk about this exciting event that is coming to our city this weekend. So let me first talk to you, Marian, because you are presenting a family-friendly program, and of course, it is going to really, I think, capture the soul of Charlie Chaplin by displaying so much about his life, and of course, through so much music as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be seeing this weekend?
Sure. First of all, we wanted to bring something that's family-friendly, a part of our pop series.
Yes.
And also ties in with classical, which is what we do best. And this is a classical show that involves a lot of comedy and laughter.
Yes.
The first half we have Kamin, who will do some slapstick comedy, and he has his own shtick, so to speak.
Yes.
We'll have an intermission, and the second half we'll have two Charlie Chaplin movies. There are silent movies, and we have Grant Cooper, the conductor, who's also the composer of the score for those movies. So we'll have movies with live music.
Oh, wow. Now, you are going to be doing some slapstick comedy. Of course, you know a little something about it. You have an amazing history when it comes to your background in the world of Charlie Chaplin. I want to tell our viewers a little bit about some of the things that you have done thus far. Can you share with us some of your experiences?
No. Charlie Chaplin.
He's used to being silent.
Charlie Chaplin changed my life. When I was a kid,
Yes.
I got into magic.
Okay.
From seeing a movie. It was a movie about Houdini, and I wanted to do magic, so I started learning to do strange, weird moves like this.
Wow.
It's very simple because it's an automatic coin. I don't know if you've ever tried it. Just put it on your hand and it works. Well, I mean, it's harder because it's but I didn't want to be a magician, and so I went to college to learn a real profession, but then I saw a Charlie Chaplin movie, and I'd never seen anybody do a movie where he could make me laugh without talking.
That's
and
incredible.
I wanted to learn how to do that, but they're not making silent movies anymore.
That's right.
And so I became a mime. And now
But you're very
everybody
good at
hates
talking.
mime. Well, I found a wonderful mime artist, and I realized that's where Charlie Chaplin's art has gone. It is mime.
Right.
He's simply, and so I learned to do, of course, that sort of thing. Or
Basics.
I spent a lot of time practicing strange moves like that. Instead of magic tricks, I was doing mime illusions. But you still have to tell stories and do comedy.
Sure.
The first half of the show actually is called The Classical Clown, and I play the guest mime artist who won't cooperate because I'd rather conduct. And Grant Cooper and I get in a titanic battle for control of the orchestra. Essentially, it's a musical concert, a classical concert that goes horribly wrong.
Oh,
and by
that's
the
always
end
the
of
best way.
by the end of it, I get to conduct a Beethoven symphony, and Grant turns into a mime.
Oh
So
my
everything
gosh.
gets turned on. Even the musicians become part of the act.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Then in the second half, after we've seen mime in the 21st century, we go back to 1917, and I do some more business, but I break silence, and I introduce two fabulous Charlie Chaplin films that hardly anybody has ever seen, beautiful restored versions, The Best Prince in the World, projected big at Kiva Center, and with Grant Cooper's, the thing about silent movies is they were never silent. They had live music, but the music wasn't permanent.
Right.
And so we have 21st century music bringing these films into the 21st, and Grant's music makes the films even more funny.
Oh, I bet.
It's a fabulous score.
Can you just tell us one more time a little bit about the details of the event so people can come on and
Sure.
get
So
tickets?
we invite all of you to come on Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Kiva. You can park in the convention center parking lot on the ground, and there's a tunnel that brings you right to the hall. I think it's on the third floor, and the escalators will take you there, and there'll be people selling tickets there. it'll be a great time. There'll be some food, some drinks, so and then film and comedy.
Film and comedy. And I real quickly also want to ask you this, Dan, because I know you travel a lot. I know you were recently in New York City for the opening of, obviously, of Chaplin on Broadway, which you also trained the lead actor, correct?
I trained Rob McClure for his performance in that musical.
That's amazing. So with all this traveling and all this physical comedy, which can really get your body here and there, believe me, I'm one for injuries. How do you stay in shape? What's your advice to people out there?
You know, I found certain stretches that I can do almost anywhere, and let me show you. You want to learn?
Sure.
Because people glom up so much tension in their neck muscles, for example.
Especially
so just
when
let
you
your
get
head
nervous.
roll. Just let your head roll a little bit. You'll find out it's easy to do. Now take your shoulders. Here's what really helps.
Okay.
And move them towards your ears.
Okay.
And then back down. It looks a little silly, but this is my physical comedy work. Take shoulders up and down. Now reach with your hand like right to the sky. Yeah, and then reach with the other arm, just right to the, I'm sorry. The thing about this is you can do these anywhere, excuse me, because, you know, this is my physical comedy workout, as it were. And, excuse me, Nikki, Marian, this is too much. I'm sorry.
This is a morning show. We'll be right back. Oh, wow. Dan is one heck of a guy, and I'll tell you what, you couldn't get better training in that Mime and Charlie Chaplin department than from him. He has worked with the very best, and speaking of the very best, there's no better place to be this morning than right here at Balloon Fiesta. It's just fantastic, and we're going to continue to provide you with the beautiful images that we are seeing up overhead right now. Stick with us.